Welcome back. This is Today. I'm Dan Moyana. Thanks for joining us on this Monday morning here on ENCA. It is the start of the second week of level 1 lockdown. Now, people are slowly returning to their normal daily activities as the lockdown restrictions have now been eased. And this could also mean increased activity on the roads. The festive season is not far away. We're already approaching October, so we've got 3 months to go to that period. So roads are expected, as usual, to get busier. And this morning we saw our reporters up and about. Monique Motlock in Cape Town, Slindelo Masigana on the Gautrain to Pretoria, and Lindo Gutlekulo on that busiest highway. That stretch between Pretoria and Johannesburg of the M1, I'm told, is the busiest stretch of any highway in Southern Africa, or if not, Sub-Saharan Africa. But somebody who also knows a lot about road transport is the spokesperson for the Automobile Association, that's the AA, Mr. Layton Beard, joining us now via Skype. Layton, very good morning to you. I've just finished crossing live to different parts of the country, mainly here in Gauteng, in Tshwane, where two colleagues arrived there using different modes of transport this morning. One on the road, on the highway to Pretoria, another had to use Gautrain, and also in Cape Town, Monique Motlock, they're using the bus. Lindo Gutlekulo was on the highway and Slindelo Masigana was on the Gautrain. There are different experiences on this highway. Now, we all know that that's the busiest stretch of the highway in Sub-Saharan Africa, I'm told, is that stretch of that M1 highway between Johannesburg and Pretoria. You've been there recently, just before we went on air, and as level 1 lockdown was starting last week. What was your experience?
Yeah, well, good morning, Dan. Firstly, I think you're absolutely correct. Anybody who's ever driven on that road under normal circumstances will tell you that if you don't hit that road by 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning coming from Pretoria to Johannesburg, you can pretty much count your day as done until about 10 or 9 or 10 o'clock, depending on where you're going. Normally bumper-to-bumper traffic, lots and lots of traffic on that road. I took that road last Friday. And I was on that road about 6:30 in the morning, and it was absolutely incredible. The traffic was flowing very freely. There were no holdups on any single stretch of that road, which is also extremely strange for somebody who drives that quite a lot. And I mean, for me to go from Pretoria, the east of Pretoria, to Melville in about an hour's time is almost unheard of. So I was extremely happy with that. And I think it is indicative, Dan, and your reporters also indicated that earlier, of the fact that there is less traffic on the road. Now, we're not going to see this level of lower traffic necessarily when we're talking about holiday traffic, but just everyday commuting to and from work, we are definitely seeing a reduction in those numbers. And that, I think, has a lot to do with the fact that people are obviously comfortable working from home.
Yeah, and also when you look at the schooling system, the way it's working is not like before. And we've had lots of people who are now unemployed because of the coronavirus pandemic. So there's less kind of volume of movement. But road traffic-wise, as you said, we are heading towards the festive season, and October in this country is always designated as Transport Month. Cabinet just last week approving the 2020 October Transport Month campaign, and the theme is together shaping the future of transport. I'm just wondering, from your experience as AA, when you see what we are seeing currently under level 1, as we slowly begin to return to some kind of normality, as you say, nowadays we don't know what is this new normal is all about. Road transport in South Africa, road traffic, what kind of changes can we anticipate?
I think very much what we've seen throughout the world is that public transport is becoming increasingly important, Dan, and there needs to be more of an investment in reliable and affordable public transport. We're seeing a lot less people with private vehicles actually using cars because, as I said earlier, and as you indicated as well, there is a reduced need for that private transport. But there is a need for public transport. There is a need for buses. There is a need for trains. There's a need for them to operate effectively, on time, and be affordable at the same time for consumers.
But then, sorry, Layton, but public transport, yes, cost-wise, I can understand. Safety conditions, safety concerns under the virus?
Yes, I mean, obviously those public transport operators need to operate within a specific framework, and I'm not suggesting that they pack their carriages full of people. But yes, public transport is continuing, Dan, and people are still making use of public transport, minibus taxis, buses, and trains. So people are still making use of that. And I think it's just highlighting the fact that people need more of that, not less of that. So we would be calling, obviously, for more investment, not only in the actual infrastructure of public transport, but in terms of dealing more effectively with people in terms of getting there on time and reliability issues. So that for us is very critical. We absolutely understand the concerns that people have about using public transport in the time of coronavirus, but it's happening anyway, so we need to make it better for them at the same time.
Okay, and finally, before I let you go, Layton, we are going to October. That means it's 3 months to the festive season. Although we are currently experiencing less travel volumes, you said earlier there will be a peak. There will be a peak traffic when we get closer to the festive season. What will be your advice this early on?
Yeah, I think a lot of people are very eager to get out and to explore the country again, which is obviously great news, and I think it's something that we would definitely encourage. Be aware of the fact that you're going to be sharing the road with a lot more people, because obviously more people will be going on holiday. Make sure your vehicle is in a good condition. And in terms of the public message that the Department of Transport is urging people to do, to share in the Public Transport Month, our greatest piece of advice to everybody would be make sure that your mind is in the right place, that you obey the rules, and that you work together to making our roads safer in South Africa.
Thank you very much, Layton Beard, speaking on behalf of the Automobile Association.